the top 200 all together. Netflix has made...
And at least there won't be any more, as far as we know. I can't imagine they would want to have more, but I will spare you clips of it. It would get copyrighted anyway.
The morning in Montecito started soft and serene. The kind of gentle California hush that makes you think everyone in town meditates before speaking. But inside the Sussex mansion, that peace didn't stand a chance. The second Meghan Markle checked her inbox, the universe snapped in half. Her eyes hit the subject line first. Updated deal terms. Please review. Hollywood translation. We're about to humble you politely. Scrabble, especially timed Scrabble. I had something that I've loved for a long time. I'm very good at Jeopardy. She opened it, skimmed the first sentence, and her entire aura shifted from Duchess Glow to, who do I sue for this disrespect? The email was short, painfully corporate, and colder than a kale smoothie left outside in the shade. Flea has dropped its trailer for Meghan Markle's Christmas special. Let's have a look. I love the holiday season. Netflix will no longer automatically greenlight Sussex submitted concepts. All pitches will now undergo standard review and approval procedures. That sentence landed like a nuclear slap across her entire identity. No automatic green lights, no guaranteed yes, no special treatment. In other words, Meghan, you're pitching like the rest of Hollywood now. Her jaw locked. Her breath got sharp. The tiny nerve in her temple started doing the electric slide. Anyone within a 5 m radius could have felt it. The Duchess detonation was imminent. Harry happened to be in the kitchen blending some concoction he called Mind Clarity Fuel. He was midsip when Meghan stormed in. Phone in hand, eyebrows locked in the kind of arch that starts wars. She slapped the phone on the marble counter. Harry jumped hard enough to nearly blend his own hand. Even the dog stared with that slow blink that says, "Oh, we're in danger, aren't we?" "They downgraded us," she spat, packing like an actress rehearsing an awards season meltdown. Harry blinked, like downgraded or downgraded, downgraded. "They said we don't get automatic green lights anymore, Harry." She snapped. "We have to pitch. We have to wait. We have to be reviewed." Reviewed? Do you understand what that means? Harry did not understand, but he understood enough to stay very still. "I hope they see the value of being brave," she said. Meanwhile, Meghan's thoughts were flying at 200 mph, pitch like everyone else. Submit ideas like some Hollywood intern on their first day. She wasn't everyone else. She was a global conversation, a lifestyle, a brand. She had been the algorithm's favorite whisperer for 2 years straight, and now Netflix wanted her normalized. She couldn't even process the insult, but Hollywood could and did. By lunchtime, whispers were circulating from Beverly Hills to Burbank. Assistants, producers, and sources close to the matter were already trading notes with that delicious tone Hollywood uses when someone powerful gets brought down a notch. She needs a hit, not another headline. Netflix is tightening the leash. This is basically the entertainment version of being benched. Even talent agents were texting each other like, "Yo, did you hear? Even she has to pitch now." The whole industry was eating it up. Meanwhile, Meghan was typing a response email with the speed and fury of someone trying to win a boxing match using a keyboard. Every sentence she wrote, she deleted. Too emotional, too honest, too likely to leak. Harry, in a heroic act of marital bravery, tried to soothe the situation. Maybe it's not bad. Maybe it's normal. She shot him a look sharp enough to slice marble. "Normal, Harry. Nothing about me is normal." He quietly retreated and pretended his smoothie needed more attention. Just when the tension felt thick enough to cut with a spoon, the phone rang. Caller ID. Netflix. Not an assistant, not the PR rep, the executive. Meghan inhaled like she was about to perform a monologue on stage. She answered with a carefully constructed sweetness. The voice on the other end was calm, the kind of calm that only comes from someone who knows they're delivering news you can't argue with. "Hi, Meghan. Just calling to clarify the updated terms. Nothing negative, just standard process across the board. We're excited to see what you're working on." Across the board, Meghan froze. Across the board, as in, she was no longer in the special exception pile. No more guaranteed green lights. No more just send it and we'll approve it. She was now in the same category as every other Hollywood hopeful with a dream, a deck, and a desperate smile. She forced a polite, "Oh, wow, that's surprising." which in Hollywood speak means I am currently plotting your downfall in my mind. The executive continued, still sunshine sweet. Just send the concepts whenever you're ready. All projects go through standard review now. Nothing changes commitment-wise, just the workflow. Oh, something changed. All right. Megan hung up the call with a thank you so much voice, then immediately buried her face in a pillow and screamed like a kettle exploding. For Megan, it wasn't just a procedural update. It was a shift, a hard, humiliating signal that the power balance had tipped. And for Harry, it marked the beginning of his new role, emotional shock absorber. Because if Megan was furious, it meant he was about to spend the next several weeks being dragged through brainstorming sessions, unsolicited pep talks, theatrical frustration sighs, and at least 3 creative meltdowns involving burning sage and revision spreadsheets. Netflix had drawn a line, a subtle, polite corporate line. Megan was already getting ready to rage right across it. And Hollywood was already watching with popcorn, sunglasses, and a smile. By day 2, Megan had fully activated what Harry quietly called Operation Prove Them Wrong, which in practice meant every room in the house was now a war zone of notebooks, iPads, vision boards, and half-drunk herbal teas. One corner had color-coded pitch outlines. Another had inspirational quotes taped up like she was fighting for emotional custody of her career. Netflix wanted standard submissions. Fine. She'd give them extraordinary submissions, loud, glossy, undeniable. But even as she powered through ideas like a machine, something stubborn sat heavy in her chest. The downgrade wasn't about the work. It was about the message. Hollywood never says no directly. It just adjusts your contract until your ego gets the hint. And Megan was feeling the hint like a slap. Her team could sense it too. Emails from her PR firm began flooding in with subject lines like reframing the narrative. Potential counter strategy. Maybe lean into the rebranding angle. Rebranding. Oh, that word again. Every time someone suggested rebranding. It felt like being told to pack up the version of herself she'd carefully curated and throw it in a storage unit. Meanwhile, Netflix remained maddeningly calm, which somehow made it worse. No panic, no scramble, no this is a mistake energy, just polite acknowledgement. 3 words Megan hated more than anything. Thanks for understanding. So she doubled down. She called a strategy meeting. Well, she called Harry, Tyler, her publicist, and an assistant she barely remembered hearing. They gathered in the living room, which Megan had transformed into a makeshift war council. Okay, she announced, packing with a tablet in hand. If they're downgrading our automatic approvals, we're upgrading the concepts, bigger, bolder, stronger. We pitch them projects they can't possibly say no to. Failed to rank among Netflix's top 300 most-watched titles between January and June. The Post-New York Post confirmed Mark's 8-part series ranked. Harry mumbled something about taking breaks and not burning out, which everyone politely ignored. Megan launched into the pitch she'd been crafting all night, a glossy documentary drama impact series that sounded like 10 shows stitched together with glitter. The team nodded enthusiastically, but their eyes flickered in that we hope Netflix sees what you see way. The thing about Hollywood meetings, everyone supports you until you leave the room. But Megan didn't notice. She was in full command mode now. She listed potential directors, sketched theme arcs in the air, and crafted log lines like she was speedrunning a TED Talk. For a while the air filled with energy, determined, intense, borderline electric. Then Tyler Perry, who usually knew how to read the emotional weather better than anyone, gently interrupted. Meg, just to clarify, Netflix said no automatic green lights. They didn't say no to you. Maybe just breathe a little, send them something clean. Let them respond. Don't sprint. Megan paused just for a breath. Her expression shifted for half a second. Frustration, fear, pride, all tangled together. Then she snapped back. No, they respond to momentum, to impact, to confidence. If we don't move, we lose ground. Hollywood forgets people every day. And there it was, the fear she never said out loud, the fear of being forgotten. Harry saw it. He always saw it. Later that evening, as he wandered past the living room, he found her staring at her laptop, frozen, not typing, not brainstorming, just stuck. He sat beside her, quiet, careful, hoping his presence alone wouldn't trigger another storm. Meg, he said softly, This doesn't change who you are or what you've built. She didn't look at him, just whispered. It changes how they see me. That was the wound, not the downgrade, the perception of the downgrade. Perception was currency, and Meghan needed the world to see her as untouchable, unstoppable, still ascending. But Hollywood wasn't playing along. By day 3, whispers got louder. Entertainment blogs were posting cryptic lines like, Netflix shifting priorities, Sussex deal quietly evolving. Insider says, it's not as sweet as it used to be. The media smelled blood and they were circling. Meghan paced the kitchen in a silk robe, phone glued to her ear, arguing with someone about narrative control and public misinterpretation. Harry hovered nearby, pretending to load the dishwasher but actually monitoring her meltdown with survival-level attention. Then Netflix dropped the statement, a short, tidy corporate message posted on social media. We look forward to continued collaboration with Archwell Productions. Standard review processes apply to all partners. All partners. They said it again, but louder this time. Meghan nearly launched her phone across the room.